Hi, this is my Module 12 on tort liability for class EDL 850. My name is Michelle Thomas, so let's get started. So my first slide is about what is tort liability. So a tort is an actionable or civil wrong committed against one person by another that is independent of contract. So basically it just means it's an action that someone else has done and it's been considered wrong, and it's usually outside of the contract of what they're supposed to do. So two types of torts, there's intentional and unintentional. So intentional includes like assault, battery, slander, making someone else look bad, invasion of their privacy. Unintentional is just negligence. The person just wasn't paying attention or doing what they were supposed to be doing at that time. So my very first case is Johnson versus School District, and it's about a first grade boy who was in music class, and the class was singing the song London Bridge, and they were playing the game to go with it, where two children lock their arms and then they bring their arms down when they say the London Bridge is falling down, and then they're supposed to swing the person back and forth slowly in between. But in this case, the boy was swung really hard and very quickly, and then when they released their arms to let go, Johnson was thrown into a bookcase and he cut right above his eyebrow, and he required close to 50 stitches. So the court ended up finding the school district and that teacher negligent because she wasn't paying attention to what they were doing. She was writing something on the blackboard, and while they said you shouldn't have to be supervising in your contract like 24/7, that you should be able to be watching and doing something, they said that it was the first time that the students had ever played, so she should have been responsible enough to know that she needed to be watching them at least the first couple times that they did it to make sure they were doing it correctly. So the next one is Frame versus Como, and Frame was an 8th grade student, and Dr. Barry Como was acting as a sub for Frame's class. And Como asked that student who was being disruptive, and he was saying things, shouting out, not taking the test seriously, to leave twice. And after the student won it and he continued to say things, interrupt other class, he asked the student to leave, and he walked over to help him. But when he touched and grabbed his shoulder, the student tripped simultaneously. And so then they tried to sue the school and him, saying that what he did wasn't right, but the court ruled with the teacher, saying that it was in the class's best interest, that Frame was causing a disruption to the class and what was going on in the classroom. And my next one is Flanagan versus Canton. So this was a 5th grade student, and after class, the boys were all in gym class, and they apparently had been really rowdy during that gym class, and so after class they went into the locker room, and usually the gym teacher would go with them to supervise, but the gym teacher stayed back because he was talking to some other students about something that had happened during the class. So while in there, Flanagan was pushed into lockers and benches, and so they tried to sue because the teacher wasn't there at the time. And this time the court sided with Flanagan and said that the teacher should have been in there to supervise and should have known that if the students were extra rowdy that day, would have been more hypersensitive to go and watch what they were doing to make sure that nothing like that had happened. So this next one is Bracci versus Million School District, and David was in gym class when they were playing golf, and he hadn't been there prior the other days before when they learned how to play. And so they are allowed to play this inside, but there are certain rules and restrictions that they have to follow. Well, while playing, he was struck by the golf club, and the teacher was helping another student, so she did not see that David got hit. And unfortunately, 2 days later, he ended up passing away. And so the school district was sued for negligence because they said that the rules that were laid out were not being followed, or this wouldn't have happened. And the gym teacher did need to be paying attention to everyone was going on and making sure that they all knew what they were doing on that day. And my last one is Collins versus Bossier Parish School District. And this one is about 2 kindergarten students who are playing on the monkey bars outside at recess. And the one little boy, Malachi, he wrapped his legs around Eugene, and Eugene is the Collins one that ends up getting hurt. And he called not only himself, but Eugene to fall, and Eugene ended up breaking a femur. And the teacher on duty, she didn't see it because she was supervising 100 other students, which seems like a lot, but according to the report, it was okay how it was at the school, because there apparently 100 is the limit, and there was less that day because some were absent. So the parent ended up suing the school and Malby for what happened, and the court ended up ruling that the school was not negligent because the teacher was doing what she was supposed to be doing at that time, but there was a fine against the other little boy who ended up hurting him. And then my last thing is, so what to do? So some reactive measures that should have been taken in all these incidents is, after any of these incidents occurred, it is very important that as a teacher you are discussing these issues with your administrator, finding out if there's any other protocols you need to follow up on to make sure everything's okay. It's definitely important to keep parents in the loop when necessary. And making sure that they're contacted and they know exactly what happened, what transpired. It's also important to take notes of the incident that occurred. So if anything does come back on you, you have your notes, you know exactly what happened, because it could be a week before you find out that, you know, you're being sued for something. And so you want to make sure that you have your notes, you remember what happened that day, because it's hard to remember things that happened a couple days ago. So you have all the details, all the information. So proactive measures is it's important to make sure all students know how to appropriately perform some of the tasks you are doing, and then how to use equipment safely, and just make sure you keep reiterating it and re-going over it. I know as a kindergarten teacher, we review our recess rules all the time. I mean, probably once a week I remind students in class, like, you know, we have to make sure there's a certain area on our recess playground where we can't run because it's easier for them to slip. And we talk about monkey bars, one person only going at a time, how we go down the slide, not up the slide. Like, you're just always reviewing rules with your students. And it's just also important to provide supervision to students at all times, you know, to never leave them unsupervised, to make sure when they are doing a new task, like when those kids were playing the London Bridge game, that you're paying attention to what they're doing, and you're making sure they're doing it safely. Especially younger kids, you know, when they get excited about something, they tend to get carried away, and that's how things can get out of control and someone can get hurt. So you really have to make sure you're monitoring the situation and really focusing on what everyone is doing. And then some professional ethics is just making sure all teachers are following what their job description entails, and just making sure when there are subs in a building, you're not asking them to do something that they're not able to do. I know we try to always make sure if we ever have a sub in one of our classrooms and they're doing recess duty with you, you know that you're making sure you're watching out and making sure that you're paying attention to everything that is going on, because you have some of the credentials for things to make sure of what all is happening in your classroom. And then some of my last things are just my references. There are 2 pages of those. So yeah, that is my presentation. Thanks for watching.